Was this the first time you ever spent time in jail? Of course not. It's clear to me that your grandson has some growing up to do.
This is Judy Justice. Previously on Judy Justice.
Ms. Chacon, you are here today because you believe that the defendant is responsible for damage that was done to your car that was being driven by your grandson.
Yes.
My first time interacting with him, as I was almost gonna finish crossing the street, he started to honk, and I flipped him off.
And?
The next day is when we really had an altercation.
I was sitting in my car. He came up to me with a knife and immediately stuck it in the window, tried poking me. He kicked the door about 5 times while I was trying to get out.
How did Mrs. Chacon's car get damaged? So as far as you're concerned, you don't know exactly how their car got damaged?
No.
Now, Kevin, would you go and bring in Mr. Kaufman's girlfriend? What is her name?
Kyla.
And now, the conclusion. Lucille Chacon is suing her neighbor, Seth Kaufman, for car damages resulting from a fight with her grandson.
Now you can sit down. I want to talk to Kyla. You can sit down. Kyla, what's your last name?
Steed, S-T-E-E-D.
How long have you and Seth been a couple?
Going on 2 years now.
He has bad temper.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. We're going to go back because you were driving in the car with him.
Yes.
Plaintiff's grandson was crossing the street. Where were you going?
I don't really remember.
Think.
Probably to the store, or like to get something to eat.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You live together?
No. Well, yes.
Just a second. That's either a yes
Yes.
or a no or a sometimes. It's never a maybe.
It's a yes.
Where do you live together?
I live in his car.
You live in his car?
Yes.
And where does he live?
He lives with his mom.
How long have you been living in his car?
A good minute. I'm not sure.
A month, a week, 6 months?
I don't know. Can't think of the time.
Do you ever go to his mom's house?
Sometimes.
You ever stay over at his mom's house?
Sometimes.
Okay. So I want you to tell me what happened on September 15th when the plaintiff crossed the street.
I don't really remember. Yeah, I can't really remember.
Where do
how
you
it
come
started.
from? Where do you live now? In what county, city?
Oceanside?
California.
Yes.
How old are you?
22.
So I'm going to try to refresh your recollection so that we can start.
Okay.
Because not remembering doesn't work for me.
Okay.
This young man was crossing the street. You're driving with your boyfriend in his car where you sometimes live. You're a passenger, he's a driver. He's crossing the street. Your boyfriend honks the horn. He flips him off.
Okay.
Your boyfriend pulls over into a parking lane, puts on his hazards, according to him. What do you say to your boyfriend?
I think I just follow him and...
Followed him where?
To go get back in the car, basically.
That's what you told him. So far, so good. Get back into the car, let it go. When he pulled the car over, did you tell him to let it go and just go?
I think so.
Think.
I just remember... I don't remember.
Okay. You've been with him 2 years, correct?
Yes.
And the place where he lives, his father also lives. Is that right?
Yes.
What's his father like?
He's a pretty nice guy.
Did you ever see Seth with a knife?
No.
Does he have one?
Not that I know of.
Does he have any weapon
Not that
you ever saw?
No.
What about his father?
His father have a weapon?
Ever see?
Not that I know of.
Now I want you to go back to back in your memory, to the next day. This is the day after this incident happened in the street. And ultimately, his father was there. Between you and his father, you got him to separate, and you all went on your merry way.
Yes.
On the 15th. Now I want you to think back to the 16th, which is the day after.
Okay.
You and your boyfriend were outside, and you were having an argument.
Yes.
And you walked away from him, and you went to the median in the street.
Yes.
Okay. What was the argument about?
I did something to upset him.
What did you do?
I was talking to another guy.
That he saw or that was on a text?
It was on a text.
Okay. And so he was upset.
Yes.
Where had you been right before you got outside.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that's when we were at his dad's house, inside his
Okay.
dad's house.
So you were at Dad's
And
house.
if not, it was either in his dad's house or outside in the car.
Okay. Was he yelling at you? What was he saying to you? I mean, I could understand him being pretty upset.
I
mean,
don't-
after all, he let you live in his car,
Remember?
right? And now he sees you talking on the phone. What he said, he sees you talking on the phone to texting, probably, another guy.
Yes.
And he's angry.
Yes.
And he has a little bit of a temper that you've seen occasionally. I would say that that's probably true, right? You saw it the day before. So you started to walk away.
Yes.
And did he follow you?
Yes, he did.
Followed you.
Yes.
And what was he saying as he followed you?
I don't remember. I think he was trying to get me to leave.
What do you mean? You were already leaving.
Yeah. Or I really don't remember. I'm pretty sure he was trying to get me to, like, not be around him anymore.
So what was he saying to you? And was he saying it in a loud way or in a quiet way?
Like medium, like not so loud, but like still loud.
So he's following you into the median, and then you're there. So you actually saw everything that happened. Where was the plaintiff's car?
I think it was across the street.
Yes. And so you saw his plaintiff's car. Now he's coming out after you, and he is angry.
Yes.
Go ahead. I want you to tell me next about what happened in the confrontation between Seth and James and the car.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Don't say I don't remember.
Okay.
Let's go.
I really can't remember.
Would you have remembered better if you were sitting in the courtroom and you heard him testify? Would you
Yes.
have remembered better?
Yes.
That's why you weren't here.
Lucille Chacon claims her neighbor, Seth Kaufman, owes for car damages after fighting with her grandson, James.
Now tell me what happened.
I don't remember. I remember.
You do understand, Seth. You do understand, Seth, that because she can't remember, you're going to pay for the damage to the car. You do understand that.
I did not understand.
Oh, well, I'm telling you, if she is so intimidated by you that she can't tell me
Oh, you think it's
that
him?
she can't tell me what happened on
I
September
actually can't
16th.
remember.
That she can't tell me what happened on September 16th, and she's your witness. You're going to pay for the damage to the car. Do you understand? I want you to be clear about that. Kyla, if you can't remember, he's going to pay for the damage to the car.
Okay.
You understand?
I understand.
Now, do you have any memory of what happened on September 16th other than the fact that he was angry that you were texting with another guy?
I remember crossing the street, and then next thing I know is I hear yelling. So I turn around, and they're going at each other.
What does that mean? Tell me.
They're
You
yelling
turn-
at each other.
Just yelling.
Just yelling.
Okay, and so now you have to watch them. They're yelling at each other.
I get in between them.
Because they're yelling at each other. You walked over to where they were
Yes.
and physically put your body in between them.
Yes.
Okay. Was James in his car or out of his car?
I think he started off in his car. And
That's correct.
I don't remember how it started, but he had somehow tried to get out. I guess my boyfriend kicked the door, and then that's when he grabbed it. Like, he had got out eventually, and then he had a knife in his hand. James did.
Yes.
And that's when I kind of backed up, but I was still trying to tell Seth to, like, let's just go and leave it alone.
Smart.
And after that, it kind of just ended. The cops had came.
Okay, good. Now you can change places with each other. Okay. Now I'll see an estimate for the damage. Now they have to put a window in the car and take out a dent. What happened when the police came, James?
When the police showed up, they arrested both of us and separated us almost immediately. And I'm not sure where they put him, but they put me in the back of a cop car.
And then what happened?
And then I was taken to jail. And they tried to charge me with assault with a deadly weapon, but they realized soon that I was a victim and they dropped
Well,
all charges.
don't tell me what they realized. You were arrested, and at the time of your arrest, you had the knife with you.
It was in the grass somewhere.
You had thrown it in the grass.
Yes.
Okay, so at the time, I love this job. So at the time of your arrest, despite the fact that he told them that you had a knife, you disposed of the knife. So at the time that the police came, you had no knife.
Yes.
Great, love this. Okay, did you have the window? Now you can sit down. Well, just don't sit down. You can stand next to your grandmother. He did not cause $4,000 of damage to your car, madam. You had to have the dent taken out, maybe 2, and you had to replace a window, which is a big deal. Do you know how much that was?
I haven't replaced it. I can't afford it. The window's still broken, the dents are still in the car, and there's also a scratch right around the car. And
I don't know how that happened.
there's more than 2 dents. There's about 4 or 5 dents in the door.
Yeah, I wouldn't let him drive the car anymore. Do you let him drive the car anymore?
He has to get to work, and I can't always take him.
So the answer is you still let him drive the car.
Yes.
So you drive the car and you leave it outside with a broken window?
Well, we have the window covered so
With
that
what?
so the rain doesn't get in there. And we're using my car right now. We very seldom use the BMW now. It's parked in the back.
Sarah, could you please find there the cost of fixing the window if you can?
Sure.
So you disposed of the weapon before you were taken into police custody. Were you ultimately let go?
Yes, after 3 days.
So you spent 3 days in jail?
Yeah.
Did you see a lawyer?
I don't believe I did.
You had to have been arraigned.
It was a public defender.
Well, that's a lawyer.
I wasn't quite sure.
That the person was a lawyer?
Or a public defender. I don't know the difference, to be honest.
Public defender is a lawyer.
Or-
Who does it cheaper. But I want a lawyer. I don't have a lawyer. I have a legal aid.
I see for a tint glass, but it doesn't break out besides taxable parts and labor, but it doesn't break
But
out
that-
for...
See if you can look up replacing a BMW small window, Sarah.
Okay.
See if you can find that, because that's what he's going to do.
Actually, I think there's a line item here, rear door stationary vent glass, remove,
Yes.
replace, $133 at the very bottom, the last line item, if you want to just take a look. And then there is an additional tint glass. Here, I'll just circle it. I circled it for an additional $75.
Your Honor, may I speak? Mm-hmm. He also put a dent in the back of in the trunk with his knife.
He didn't have a knife.
He did have
No.
a knife.
Maybe. But so far I have no proof that he had a knife. I know he had a knife.
Okay.
I know he had a knife that he was smart enough to dispose of before he was arrested. Do you understand?
I understand.
Very
that.
good.
Lucille Chacon claims the defendant, Seth Kaufman, refuses to pay for car damages after starting a fight with her grandson, James.
What I'm telling you is he was smart enough to dispose of his knife before he was arrested. Do you understand? If the police had found the knife on him, probably would have been a whole different story. Was this the first time you ever spent time in jail?
No.
Of course not. Immediately prior to this incident, when had you been in jail before?
About a week.
For what?
Domestic violence.
Against whom?
My ex-girlfriend.
Great. What happened with that case?
She attacked me, so I smacked her once, and then some neighbors saw and called the cops.
Now, that was about a week before. Immediately prior to that,
That was it, the domestic violence and then assault with a deadly weapon.
2 things.
Yes.
It's the only time that you've been arrested.
Yes.
Really? What about you?
Well, I didn't get arrested that day.
No. Prior to September 16th, when had you been arrested immediately before?
Never.
Never.
I had been detained before. But
You've been what?
Detained, where they'd sit you on the curb and stuff, but never arrested. Me and my girlfriend were having a spat outside. We got detained because the neighbor said we were too loud, but we weren't arrested. We were just talked to, told to quiet down, and then we all went on our way.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you this, Ms. Chacon. You got to stop thinking that he's an innocent victim. Do you understand?
Yes.
He's 19 years old, right?
Yes.
How old are you?
74.
Ever been arrested?
No.
I'm 81. Never been arrested. 26. Never been arrested. I don't even have to go on this side. You got the gist of what I'm saying to you. He's 19. He was arrested twice within 1 week. Doesn't that tell you something?
We've
Either
talked
he's
about
the-
it several times, yes.
We talked about what?
about him staying out of trouble and just concentrating on working, which is what he's doing now.
Okay.
And he did have the money to buy that car. He had worked a whole year putting money away for the down payment on the BMW.
And?
So he's very responsible. And also on the police report, it was mentioned that they believe he hit the window with the back of the knife, and that's how he cut his hand.
Oh, I'd like to see the police report, please, before I make a decision about how much your grandson is going to contribute to fixing the car. Because both of these characters acted inappropriately. You would agree with that, Miss Chacon, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Perfect. So that they should both bear the responsibility. One, it's really Dumb and Dumber. Oh, so the same police officer who arrested you this time arrested you in the domestic violence case?
Yes.
Let's read on. How come neither one of you told me? Stand up. Over there. Did you tell the police that he tried to stab her with a knife?
Yes, I did.
How come in all this conversation that we had today so far, we've been at this for 40 minutes, I never heard from you that he tried to slash her with a knife?
I didn't want to talk out of turn. I was waiting for my turn to talk.
You idiot.
There was a few things
You're idiot.
left out.
So far, I have to tell you what you've told me about yourself, that you got out of your car because someone disrespected you,
Yeah.
right? That you went over to him because you had a big fight with your girlfriend about something else. That you told me. The most important thing that's in this police report is your claim that everybody else denies that he attempted to slash her with a knife.
Correct.
That you forgot to tell me.
Yes.
Okay.
Less so forgetting, didn't have the time to.
Okay, I'm finished with this case. I don't have to read it anymore. It's clear to me that cross your hands.
Sorry.
It's clear to me that your grandson has some growing up to do. First, you should get him take the hair out of his eyes. He'd be more successful. He could see where he's going. Second thing is, he's going to pay for half the damage to your car. And at most, the damage to your car is $1,000. So he's going to pay $500 because all I'm charging them is $500. Do you understand?
Yes.
We're done. Thank you very much. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500.
This court is adjourned.
Goodbye.
I'm happy with the judge's decision. I think that James was equally, if not more, responsible for what happened that day than I was, so I'm glad that she made him at least pay for half of it.
I respect that. I respect her decision.
I should have been better about my anger. I don't need to lose my temper like that.
I mean, as the judge said, I could have murdered him. Those are her words.
I think that I was acting a little bit stupid those 2 days. The next day, I thought about it a lot. Like, I didn't need to do any of this.
I was simply going to work. I don't instigate fights.
People carry guns. A lot of people carry a lot of other illegal things that they can just use on you at any time, so.
My words were, I don't want to fight you, and when I showed him my waistband with the knife, he didn't want to fight anymore either.
Basically, just gotta check my ego.
Just